Here's a question that I want to pose to all of you. What is the minimum entry price to playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game?
Once you have the most powerful monster, you're ready to be a true champion. Get the power.
Playtime is over!
Let's say that I'm brand new to trading card games. In fact, let's just say I've been spat out of a void with absolutely nothing at all. Nothing to do with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game in my possession. In fact, nothing at all apart from maybe a wad of cash and a smartphone. That's all that I have. How do I go from here to playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game? What will I need to go out and buy? What will I need to go out and learn? And the big important question, which I want to answer in today's video, how much is it going to cost?
It's time to duel!
Unfortunately, the answer is never simple, because when you say you're going to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, a bunch of diverging paths opens up. Do I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For fun? Do I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively? Do I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulated-wise? Do I want to play it physically? What are we really going for here? Well, for today's video, I'm going to say that we want to play the game physically. We want to go to our locals. And if we were to go to something a little bit more, that's fine, but we're not too fussed. So then let's go through it piece by piece. What things are we going to need? Well, the first thing I'm going to need, as someone that's just been spat out of a void that wants to play a trading card game, specifically Yu-Gi-Oh!, is knowledge. And that is the knowledge of how to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. What are the rules? What are the mechanics? What is in the ban list? What is not in the ban list? Tell me about the lore of the game if you want to as well. Well, how can I get all that? Well, luckily, knowledge for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is free. The reason it's free is because, well, you can get all this on the internet. You can learn all about the rules, how to play, what the mechanics are on different types of websites. You can also learn it from YouTube itself with video guides. For example, I don't know, the Idiot's Guide to Link Summoning, the Idiot's Guide to Summoning, a whole plethora of videos like that. I'm going to stop self-plugging now, but those videos do exist, and there's so many more that you can use to learn to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In terms of lore, well, there's some other videos in terms of that, but maybe you want to know and learn about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series from the anime.
Now, Stone Soldier, destroy the moon!
Well, the anime is actually free to watch as well, because you can watch it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure all of Duel Monsters is on YouTube now. All of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I'm pretty sure as well. And I think probably some other series. And there's obviously other websites you can go on to watch other things as well. So in terms of knowledge, that's free. You don't need to pay a penny if you don't want to learning the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. So what comes after knowledge? You know how to play the game. Well, next up is experience.
With no monsters left on the field, I summon Dark Magician. Declare direct attack.
Ah, you got me.
Told you I was the master.
GG.
GG.
You could know everything there is to know about something. If you don't try it hands-on, you can never really say you've experienced it and truly understood it until you do it. And, well, luckily, this is another aspect of learning the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game that is available for free, because there are automated services that you can go to, such as Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, that you can do all from your phone.
Bring it.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, the ultimate real-time PvP battle, now on mobile. Download free on App Store and Google Play.
While that isn't 100% accurate to Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game, because it is a different rule set to a degree, it's pretty damn close. I would say it's about 90% accurate to what we play in Master Rules Yu-Gi-Oh! So Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is one way of learning, and it's free. There is also the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution game, which isn't free, and it will cost you about £35 or about $40. This is also an automated game, so you can learn how to play. There is an entry cost to this. There are alternatives to this, which aren't official Konami products, I guess. They are free things that are available, free simulations on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So, for all intents and purposes, I'm saying you can get a digital experience for Yu-Gi-Oh! For absolutely nothing. However, today's video, we are exploring the physical aspects to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. The actual physical playing of the game. So, you could argue we should skip this step and go straight on next to actually building everything that we need and buying everything we need before we start playing. So, yeah, I guess let's look at our core equipment and the prices that accompany them.
It's the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Disc. With everything you need to duel with the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game.
So what's the first thing you're going to need to buy? Well, of course, it is a deck. Now, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here and say that there are only two types of duelists. There are budget fun duelists and expensive competitive duelists. The fun budget duelists, they get their enjoyment out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just by playing the game. Winning isn't everything. They build a deck of cards that they like, that they enjoy. They just think they look cool, or they play a way that they resonate with, I guess. And just the back and forth banter between two duelists, even if they get slapped in the end, it's something that they enjoy.
I can't believe it. He lost.
No! Thanks for a great duel, Zane.
The competitive, expensive player, however, they derive their fun from Yu-Gi-Oh! Out of winning. And I honestly think there's nothing wrong with that. I really do like winning as well. But these players, to achieve their goals of winning, they need a more competitive deck.
You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
This is the only thing that I'm going to diverge in today's video, so let's take a look first at the budget player. In order to get the bare minimum of a budget deck to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I think honestly all you need to do is buy 3 structure decks. Just 3 of these bad boys and I'm pretty sure you're set to go to your locals and have fun. Now, are you going to be winning all your duels? Probably not, but are you going to be having enough of a duel to get an enjoyment out of it? I'm going to say yes. If you bought, for example, one of the more recent structure decks, let's say the Sacred Beast structure deck, those are around £11.99 in the UK off Amazon, for example. So you want to buy 3 of these. So this is your entry cost. With this, you have an entire core of a deck and several competitive staple cards included in the deck, which are things like Mystical Space Typhoon, Terraforming, Pot of Desires. These things are what people want, and they just happen to be in the deck, so you've got yourself sorted there. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the Sacred Beast structure deck. You could use like the Shaddoll structure deck, but the further you go back in time, the less good a deck is most likely to be, just because of power creep that occurs through Yu-Gi-Oh! So, again, while winning isn't everything, you don't want to buy a really old deck and get absolutely blasted on your first turn because your deck's just so old. There is a little bit of, you need to think about that one in terms of that. On the other end of the spectrum, the competitive player. This player will want the highest tier deck. And while I'm not the most knowledgeable about how much a high tier deck would cost, or what deck I would pick from the current tier 1, tier 0 decks, let's just say for the sake of argument, a top tier deck costs around £550 or $700, for example. Now, I'm pretty sure there are more expensive competitive decks out there, and I'm pretty sure you can make one probably for a little bit less, but this is the number that I've gone with. But if you want to leave a comment on your experience of what a competitive deck costs in Yu-Gi-Oh!, then more than happy to let me know in the comment section below. If this is the case, this is the deck where you're buying your infinite impermanences, other highly competitive cards. But with these two things now, we have the basis of our prices. We have a £30 price point to begin with and a £550 price point to begin with. And honestly, if you really wanted to, we could stop here. You could go out and play Yu-Gi-Oh! With this. You've got your deck and you could just go to your locals, play your game and have fun. Except for the fact that I want you to be self-sufficient if you need dice. Do you have dice? No, I just hope my opponent does. Are you scratching all your sleeves? Yeah, they look a right old mess. So I want you to be self-sufficient, so I want you to have the bare minimum of what I think a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist should have. So this is where we move on to the rest of the equipment that you need.
With more Yu-Gi-Oh! GX cards than ever before, the new power from Neospace can help you reclaim the fame. King of Games. Power of the Duelist. Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game Booster Pack available now.
So the first thing you're going to need is card sleeves. Card sleeves are important because, one, you actually do need them if you want to play competitive, because if you've got any scuff marks or scratches on your cards, that could reveal to you what that card is, and that is an advantage to you. But if everything's in a card sleeve, everything looks uniform, and you can't tell the difference between them. So This is actually a necessity, despite it being a cosmetic thing. It does keep your cards safe from damage as well. Now, a pack of card sleeves is going to set you back about £4.99 on average. I'm just going off of Amazon prices, so this is how we're working things out. Now, these Ash Blossom card sleeves only come in a pack of 50. The bare minimum you're going to need for your main deck is 40 cards, but your extra deck is an additional 15 cards, so you need 55. But bigger ones of these do exist for around the same amount of price, so I think we can get away with £5 just for the card sleeves. So we've got our card sleeves sorted. What else do we need? Well, you're going to need a deck box. A deck box is important because as tempting as just using an elastic band is, literally, as I'm pretty sure we've all done this at some point, that is just going to get tight around your cards and ruin your cards and smush them all in together. Oh, please don't do that to your cards. Just buy a little cheap card case if you can. Just a single one is all you need. A single one of these is going to set you back about £8.99 roughly, so not too expensive for a quality life for your cards. So we're now 3 items in. What is the next thing we're going to need? Well, again, not necessarily a necessity, but a mat to play the card games on. Keep in mind that a free mat does exist if you bought your structure decks, which we did. So already we have our mat sorted. We could skip this step, but again, this is a little bit flimsy. We could step it up just that little bit more. We can get away with that one for free, so we can probably cut this out. Let's just buy just any old deck mat. This is the Ash Blossom. We've got an Ash Blossom theme going on today. So we got ourselves a nice rubber mat, which does help keep your cards safe and sound. Ash Blossom is upside. So with this is going to cost around £9.99. But keep in mind, there are other ways of getting free mats as well. If you win a tournament, sometimes mats are prizes. If you go to your regionals, sometimes mats are just an entry bonus that you get just for turning up to a tournament. This is a weird one. You definitely could skip out mats because there's free ways of getting them, or just getting them as an extra, but let's just add it on, £9.99. Now, 2 little things that you might encounter needing in a duel are actually dice and counters. Counters are needed when a monster has an ability to add a counter to something, so you need to keep track of it. And while dice are used for cards that need dice, for example, they can also be used as a way of tracking other things. For example, Final Countdown, you need to wait 20 turns in order for that card's ability to activate. But a way for you and your opponent to keep track is by having a 20-sided die, place it on top of the card, then every turn that passes, you just turn it to 2, 3, 4, 5. Both people are aware and you're keeping track in a bit quite well. So I would say out of all the little things you might need in Yu-Gi-Oh, just counters and dice are needed. And unfortunately on Amazon, which I'm just buying everything off Amazon here, the minimum price for like little tokeny looking things, I mean you can use anything for a counter, it was £4.99, which is, it's rather expensive. And the dice, the minimum dice price for just like a little bundle was also £5. So that's a tenner for like a little bag like this, which I guess isn't terrible, but you could definitely get that cheaper somewhere. But I'm just basing everything off Amazon, so yeah, there's that. Now, if this video was being made somewhere in the past, I would also have said that you needed a calculator, a notepad, and a coin, except for the fact that, well, it's all available on your phone nowadays, isn't it? If you want to track your life points, well, there's life point calculators you can get. If you want to work out half the life points of something, well, you got a calculator on the phone. And if you want to find a coin flip result, well, there's free apps for that as well, along with dice apps as well, but I think physical dice you do actually need. In fact, there is an app that has been developed in Japan called Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron, which is basically all these things combined. It has a life point calculator, it has coin flips, dice rolls. It also has the ability to scan cards and translate them into your language. What's the benefit of this, you might ask? Well, if you're playing against someone with a foreign card and you don't know what that card's effect does, you scan the card and it'll tell you the card's effect. Or, if they have a card that's very old, you scan that card, perhaps it's had an errata over the years, we'll have the most modern version of that on the app as well. So, I'm pretty sure that's free as well, so all this is available to you. So then, with our deck box, sleeves, knowledge, starter decks, tokens and counters, playmats, and all of our free apps, this is where we come up with 2 prices. Also, I'm assuming that we walk to our locals. We don't need to buy a car or anything like that. So, to answer the question that we posed at the beginning of the video, what is the minimum amount of money that you'll need to spend to get into Yu-Gi-Oh? I personally think the minimum amount you need to spend is this price right here. These are all the things added up. It comes to £62.65p or $78.65 as a minimum entry price. And I think that is very fair to begin playing a card game, going to your locals and having fun. The more money you sink into that from this point is only on how powerful you can make your deck. So yeah, I think that's fair. On the other end of the spectrum, if you are a competitive player, then obviously the price is much higher. You end up with a £590.49 entry fee, or in dollars, that's $615.57, which is considerably more for a one-off payment. Remember, a lot of people sort of take time to build this up over the years, but we're assuming you want to do this all in one go. But yeah, these are the two prices that you have, and this is what I'm going to end the video on. Do you think this minimum price is fair and justified, or do you think, no, it's so much more to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh, even at a sort of beginner, less competitive era? Or do you think the competitive price is way too high or way too low and is not at all reflective of what Yu-Gi-Oh costs to play? Obviously, there are other factors involved. We could go more into like the price of playing in competitive tournaments, travel costs. You will need to buy a side deck at some point the more competitive you can become, so you'll need to branch out and get different cards to deal with different decks. The meta changes as well, so just because you have a deck now, a couple more years, you might have to buy a brand new deck, so there's all those cards basically becoming useless in a degree. But I just thought this would make an interesting video as a little bit of a discussion. The entry price of Yu-Gi-Oh! I made sort of a joke video about this not too long ago, like the Ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh! Starter Pack, but that was more parody. I was like throwing all sorts into that one. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, guys, what did you think of this video? What would you say is the entry price to Yu-Gi-Oh! For fun, casual players and competitive players? Let me know in the comment section below, and thank you all for watching. Catch you later.